Look, a lot can change from the end of April till the first day of July when NBA free agency begins. I have might switch in the title because new information is going to come out by the time that I upload this video, and once July comes, as more teams and players take meetings, I don't expect all these guys to switch teams, but everyone on this list is an unrestricted free agent and is expected to fly out to other team cities to see what they have to offer. Steph Curry and Kevin Durant are each set to become NBA free agents this summer, but we all know neither of them are leaving Golden State and are going to re-up their deals, so they will not be on this list of 10 free agents. There's going to be a few free agents that I did not talk about on this list, so when you see who's all on this list, let me know if there's a player that I did not talk about on here that I should have talked about, and if you think they'll switch teams. The NBA playoffs are about to start its second round, but I think it's a good time to talk about some free agents who are expected to take meetings with other teams and possibly leave their previous team. So let's talk about some free agents. The first 2017 NBA free agent we'll look at is Paul Millsap. He's been an all-star with the Hawks in each of his 4 seasons there. His average is capped at 18 points, 7 rebounds, and 44% shooting this year. According to Adam Schefter, Millsap is going to opt out of his final year of his 3-year contract with the Hawks and see what other teams have to offer him. Millsap and other players on the Hawks are on their Orlando Magic's free agent target list this summer. The Magic need a lot of help on their roster and could use Millsap's scoring and shooting ability. Championship contention in Atlanta isn't going to happen with the Cavs and other teams in the East having stronger rosters, but I'd bet on the Hawks and Millsap to strike a deal, as Millsap said he wants to stay, and Bazemore says he's going to convince him to come back to make another playoff run. The team just lost in 6 games to the Wizards, and if they want to stay playoff competitive in the East, signing Millsap keeps them competitive. According to Jazz reporter Tony Jones, Hill and the Jazz will not reach a deal on a contract extension, and he will test the free agent market because he is looking for a max contract. Hill is looking to cash out this summer. His agent has let him know that other NBA teams will be able to offer him more money than what the Jazz will be able to offer him. With the way the cap is rising and the way money is being tossed at players nowadays, I don't blame Hill for looking at other teams. This was his best scoring year, putting up 16 points per game and shooting 40% at the 3-point line with strong perimeter defense. He has a lot of value as a starting point guard. If you want him to spread the floor as a spot-up shooter, or you want him to control the offense, he can do both. Plus, he can guard either point guards or shooting guards with his 6'9" wingspan. A lot of teams can use a guy like this. The Jazz put together 51 wins and a top 3 defense statistically. I think it'd be smart to keep this core with Gobert and Hayward, but there are going to be teams like the Nets, the Knicks, who are reportedly planning to throw money at him, and as we get closer to July, I'm sure the list of rumored teams will increase. If I have any Jazz fans watching, Jazz fans, should they try to get him back? Let me know. The second Jazz player we'll talk about is Gordon Hayward, and he is expected to opt out of his contract and will become an unrestricted free agent this July. He is having the best season of his career, averaging almost 22 points per game, grabbing 5 rebounds and dishing out 3 assists per game, on the way to making his first All-Star appearance. There was a report going around from the New York Daily News that said the Miami Heat would be looking to offer Hayward a deal in July. I wouldn't be surprised if the Heat took a meeting with him, as Hayward will be a great scoring wing around Dragic and Whiteside. Of course, there have been years of Hayward and Boston rumors. For one, you have the Brad Stevens and Butler connection, and 2, he would just fit well with the roster with his 3-point shooting ability from the wing that would help Isaiah Thomas out if he's having an off shooting night. But I think Jazz fans can relax. There's currently a campaign to fund a billboard in Utah to convince Hayward to stay. I think Hayward is going to re-up his contract in Utah and sign a max deal. It doesn't make much sense to leave right now, even with Miami and Boston being good basketball options. His role is already established on a very good defensive team that has a lot of room to grow. D. Rose is going to be an unrestricted free agent this summer. In 64 games with the Knicks, he averaged 18 points, which was the highest he's averaged since the 2011-2012 season. He also shot 47% from the field and dished out 4 assists a night. Even with his bad 3-point shooting numbers and health issues, he definitely has a lot of value left as a point guard who has explosion, can get into the paint and finish at the rim. There was a report in March that he would be interested in signing with the Bucks. He noted that his family would only be an hour and a half away from the arena, and he said he's a fan of Jason Kidd. After this crazy year with being fined $200,000 for missing a game, he had a knee operation. Phil Jackson has not given up on re-signing him. Jackson said he was impressed with Rose's attitude in an exit interview and his desire to return to the Knicks. If I have any Knicks fans watching, let me know, do you want Rose back for another season, or you think Phil Jackson and the front office should not offer him a deal and tell me he has to find a new team? Before the start of the 2017 season, Lowry said he was planning to opt out in July to secure a max deal. He averaged 22 points, 7 assists, and almost 5 rebounds in 60 regular season games. It was his highest scoring season, his best year in field goal and three-point percentage. His hometown is Philadelphia, and the Sixers are reportedly interested in him and are going to try to convince him to trust the process. Another team that has been in the rumors of trying to get Lowry this summer is the Lakers. A lot can change between now and July as more teams get into the mix. It's tough seeing Lowry leaving the Raptors this summer. He's helped lead the franchise to 4 playoff appearances in a row, with last year's Eastern Conference Finals against the Cavs being the farthest they've gotten with him on the team. His roots in Toronto have only gotten stronger, and so has his friendship with DeMar DeRozan. Toronto has gone from being someone you'd expect at the bottom of the league to a team you expect to see make some type of playoff run in the Eastern Conference. Lowry has been one of the few guys to help change that perception. I expect him to re-sign. They have a solid 7-8 man rotation that can win rounds in the playoffs. JJ Redick is in his final year of his contract with the Clippers and is set to become an unrestricted free agent. Redick averaged 15 points and shot 42% at the three-point line. He's going to be 33 years old this year and is going to find a lot of interest outside of the Clippers because of his ability to shoot, score, and make free throws. The first thing on the Clippers free agent plans this summer, though, is bringing back their 2 stars. Doc Rivers and the front office want Blake and CP3 back. There was a report a few days ago saying that CP3 is expected to re-sign with the Clippers and he'll sign the max amount he can get. They're going to want to bring back Blake too and sign him to a long-term deal. The Clippers are going to need a three-point shooter surrounding Blake and DeAndre to keep spacing good enough for Chris Paul to do creative things off of the pick and roll and in isolations, and it wouldn't be surprising if Redick re-signed. Rudy Gay has reportedly told the Kings that he will leave this summer and find a new team. He's been in trade rumors with Sacramento for a while, and if I'd had to pick one player on this list, one player who I'd bet money on leaving this free agency, it'd be Rudy Gay. He averaged 18 points and grabbed 6 rebounds in 30 games with the Kings before getting injured in January. I'm going to make a prediction here. I'll make one prediction. A team like the Thunder who needs scoring wings besides Westbrook could help. I could see him in OKC. There aren't too many rumors or reports for Rudy Gay at the moment, so I don't want to just speculate on my own. It'll be interesting to see where he lands though. Monroe improved a bit on defense this year with Milwaukee and was really reliable as the first big man off the bench. He averaged 11 points, 6 rebounds on 54% shooting. He's 6'11", 265 pounds, and was someone the Bucks could rely on to be the first option once the bench came in. But Monroe could end up not becoming a free agent this year as he has a player option in his contract, and he can opt in to make $17 million next season in his final year on contract with the Bucks, or he can opt out and look around for a long-term deal and become a starter on another team. Monroe has been in trade rumors the past season, and I'm wondering, will that affect his decision at all when he picks to opt out or play one more season with Milwaukee? The second to last NBA free agent I'm going to talk about in this video is James Johnson, who has bounced around the league the past few years and had a career season with the Heat, and is definitely on my list as one of the players who deserves most improved player recognition, though Giannis should win that. Reporters believe James Johnson can bag a 2-year contract worth $25 or $28 million, and they're saying that might be too low. He averaged 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists in April when the Heat were fighting to grab that 8th seed. He's a jack-of-all-trades type of guy. He can play defense, he can stretch the floor a little bit, he can dish out assists and grab rebounds. The Heat are going to have $37 million in cap space, and both sides have mutual interests. Johnson wants to stay and build off the second half of the season where the Heat went 30-11. Heat fans, if you made it this far to the video, let me know, do you want him back? I can see other teams throwing money at him because guys that can guard multiple positions and do creative things on offense have a lot of value on teams. The last free agent I'm going to talk about in this video is Dion Waiters, who was super fun to watch all year, and especially after the All-Star break. It's the same with James Johnson. Dion Waiters has said he wants to stay in Miami, but he said to reporters that he knows free agency can get unpredictable at times and anything can happen. We saw that last year with Dwayne Wade when everyone, including myself, assumed he was just going to re-sign with Miami, but he actually went to the Bulls. Waiters is going to become an unrestricted free agent this summer and was a big part of the Heat's second half of the season tear when they went 30-11 and barely missed the postseason. He averaged almost 16 points per game. He had a career high in rebounds, assists, and three-point percentage. He's looking to lock up a long-term deal. Again, if any Heat fans have made it this far to the video, what do you think? Should the Heat re-sign Waiters and Johnson? That's it for me and 10 NBA free agents who may or may not leave this summer. I picked a few guys who are going to look at other teams, but then probably re-sign with their former one, and some of them will probably leave him. It'll be funny coming back to this video in mid-July and all 10 of these guys have re-signed. If at least 4 or 5 of them switch teams, I think this video will be a success. And if you made it this far to the end, don't forget to leave a like for me as it helps my channel grow. We're at 6,200 subscribers and counting. What'd you think of the video? And let me know if there's any free agents I should have put on here. I almost had Drew Holiday, Otto Porter, and JaVale McGee on here. So I'm out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Later.